Hey anime fans, are you tired of searching online for your favourite anime? Well, introducing Crunchyroll. With thousands of titles, ad-free streaming and new episodes weekly, it's your ultimate anime destination. Sign up now for your free trial using the link in the episode description, the show notes, where you'll find a whole world of anime to dive into, introducing new ones to you, new fan favourites, or pop culture hits such as Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, One Piece, and a whole lot more. Dive into Crunchyroll where anime lives. Hey fellow anime lovers, my fellow weebs, are you looking to add some flair to your collection, your everyday style, be it casual, dressed up, or whatever? Then check out Chibi Weeb merch on Etsy, my Etsy shop. Down in the description you'll find a link to the shop when you'll find adorable anime enamel pin badges, cool stationery, and a whole lot more. We've got your anime obsession covered, and we're based in the UK, but we ship worldwide. Shop now down in the footer and let your inner weeb shine with Chibi Weeb merch. That's Chibi Weeb merch on Etsy, your go-to for all things anime accessories. Hello everyone, welcome back to Chibi and Chill, the anime podcast. And this week, it has been a week filled with enjoying a lot of the new anime this week from the spring lineup, as well as trying to make some progress, some headway on my anime bucket challenge for 2024. So this week I've been enjoying Bartender. That one has very quickly become possibly one of my favourites of this season. Kaiju number 8, which absolutely amazing. Oh my god, that's such a good show. The hype for that one was so warranted. It's awesome. I'm loving it. It's much more comedy focused than what I kind of thought it would be, but very, very fun. And then I've also been trying to make headway on my bucket list. So if you're new to the podcast, this year I've got a poster and it's got 100 anime on it, and I'm trying to make my way through it, and there's a lot of shows that maybe I've not heard of on there, but there's a lot of classic ones on there as well, and ones that, if I'm honest, I never finished or just didn't pick up. So at the minute I'm working my way through the original series of Naruto, so I'm on episode 108 at the time of recording this, so just over halfway, nearly at halfway, are the 220 episodes of the original Naruto, and then we can move on to Shippuden, and then I'm still continuing with Death Note, still halfway through that one. I haven't picked that up in a little while, so that's one I definitely need to pick up with. And I'm still on with One Piece. Obviously, I think I'll be saying that for the next 5 years of my life. But a lot's been watched this week, and I feel like I've made a lot of little progress. And I'm super aware that Demon Slayer is about to start in May. I cannot wait for that to start. So I'm super aware that that's about to start, and I need to try and wrap up some of these series so that I have time in the schedule to kind of watch that, but there's just so much to watch, so little time, and take it day by day with the anime watching. But anyway, enough of that ramble. This week's episode is all about anime that we could be watching in all our respective countries that are banned in other countries. There's a lot of anime that cause a lot of controversy, or the governments just don't allow it to be streamed in particular countries due to the nature of the shows. So we'll be going through some of the ones that have been banned across various countries in the world, and some that have been banned worldwide because they were just too much. So join me on this episode. We'll go through some countries that have anime that... Let's put my teeth back in. We'll be going through some countries that could be watching anime that you can't. So, let's dive into some controversial anime. So the first anime on this banned list is Parasite, and this one has been on my list for a long time, and it's one of those series that I've always meant to pick up and meant to enjoy, because I feel like I would really enjoy this one. It's a little bit weird, it's a little bit horror focused, and I never picked it up. But this one, if you're not aware, came out in 2014, and it's all about 17-year-old Izumi, who is partially infected by a parasite, monsters that butcher and consume humans. He must learn to coexist with the creature if he is to survive both the life of a parasite and as a human part monster, part person. So it's kind of focuses more on the kind of sci-fi horror kind of vibe, but this one, because of its nature and likely because of its use of body horror, is banned in China. So China kind of went through like a motion where they banned at least 38 different anime back in 2015 alongside Parasite. So a lot of them we'll see some more on this list as we kind of work through. It's kind of a trend going through with the China bans. But this was likely because of the body horror and the gore that's kind of current throughout the series. But it looks like recent bans for China were all based because of the horror, body horror kind of vibe that they all kind of sit with. Alongside a similar kind of theme is Tokyo Ghoul, which I am very, very nearly completed with. This was on my bucket list, and I watched the first series way back when, but I never watched series 2 or Tokyo Ghoul Re either. I never watched the kind of follow-up ones, and I'm so close to finishing Tokyo Ghoul Re, so very nearly done, so that'll be scratched off my bucket list soon. But this one is banned in China and Russia because of the levels of violence in the show. If you've seen the show, you'll be aware of the amount of violence that is in this show. It is there, and there is some gore in there. So this one was banned because of that. But Tokyo Ghoul, if you're not aware, is about a Tokyo college student who is attacked by a ghoul, a superhuman that's kind of almost demonic, who feeds on human flesh, and he survives but has to become part ghoul and becomes a kind of fugitive on the run. And there's like a clan. There's a lot going on in the series. It's quite a complex series, especially Tokyo Ghoul Re. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different characters. But it's a really, really good series. It's insanely popular. But Tokyo Ghoul was blacklisted in China and Russia because it showed several scenes of extensive violence and crimes against public morality. So very specific there. But they were because of Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul kind of did its best to try and restrain or cover up those kind of depictions in the anime of torture and cannibalism, but these were still too much for China. So they, for the censorship, so they decided to ban it altogether. And Tokyo Ghoul in Russia removed all of its anime series in that country recently. So you can't watch any of it over there, no mind with the censorships. So if you're in China or Russia, unfortunately, I don't think you'll still be able to watch Tokyo Ghoul unless it's been very heavily censored nowadays. But yeah. One series that I've not particularly watched myself, but was or is banned in New Zealand was High School DxD, and that one was banned because of its highly suggestive content. So this one is a very popular anime, and it's about a character that, after being killed on his first date, idiotic and perverted Izai Hyodo is resurrected as a demon, only to be recruited into her club of high-class devils. So it seems fairly fun, if I'm honest. It sounds kind of fun. It seems a little bit like an isekai, but not an isekai because he's not getting resurrected into another world, technically. So it seems along that kind of vibe, though, if you know, you know. But this one was banned in New Zealand because they considered it a little bit too sexually exploitive for minors, due to the kind of nature of the animation, I guess. So it turned some fans away because it had so much nudity and sexualized scenarios that it could technically counted as hentai, which, if you're not aware, is like the very sexualized, overly sexualized side of anime. But it didn't help the student who had dreams of having his own kind of harem, and it was a bit too much for New Zealand, so that's a no. So if you have watched that, then you'll know, I guess. I have not watched this one, and I have to say, I don't think I will. But interesting. One of the most famous ones on this list of banned anime is Assassination Classroom, and this one is banned in Florida and Wisconsin, USA, because of the fear how it would influence the watchers, essentially. So America, I'm sure the whole world is kind of aware, has a notorious school shooting problem. But it's in Assassination Classroom, that is literally the focus of the show, is trying to murder the teacher, this kind of like alien teacher, so it's not actually a person. But this one was done under the belief that the high school anime Assassination Classroom would teach readers on how, or teach them different methods of how to try and kill their teachers. So they were immediately like, look, no, we can't have this showing in the States. So it's a no. So the fear now is that these tenuous excuses could be used to ban even more manga or anime in the US. I think that's could be true, but this one, I kind of understand this banning, if I'm honest, due to the nature of some of those states and the anime itself. Gotta stay safe out there. If you're a gamer, much like me, then why not check out Razer? You can find a bunch of accessories from mouses, keyboards, headsets, mouse mats and more to the bigger stuff like gaming laptops and desktops. Over on the Razer website, linked down below, you can shop a whole host of gaming accessories from the Chroma range, which is all colourful, which is my favourite stuff, to more sleek black stuff, including even their own merchandise, clothing, bags and accessories. There's something for everyone. The link is down below for you to check out and shop. One of my favourite ones, and I always think it's the anime that got me into anime as a kid, and one that has a very, very special place in my heart, is Sailor Moon. And I was really surprised to see this on the banned list. So Sailor Moon is banned in Saudi Arabia for cultural and religious reasons. So this one is kind of just a blanket rule in Saudi Arabia that forbids any media depicting women in a leading role. And this is partly the reason why the entire magical girl genre of anime and manga or media, I guess, is outlawed in the country. So Sailor Moon was straight no, I guess, because it's got like 5 leading women. And Sailor Moon was the most prominent magical girl anime to be banned in Saudi Arabia because of that reason and the reason for religious slights. So for the longest time, Toei refused to license Sailor Moon to Saudi Arabia because of its rigid moral standards. The ban against Sailor Moon was somewhat lifted when Netflix added the Sailor Moon Eternal movie to the country's library in 2021. So it's changed slightly since the original ban. But except for Sailor Moon Eternal, hundreds of magical girl anime are still banned in Saudi Arabia. So that one is one of those ones because it's a giant culture shift. It's quite a different culture from what we have here in the West. So Sailor Moon and other magical girl genre anime or ones with a female leading role are not available to view in Saudi Arabia. For the next banned anime, we actually go back to China. So this one is one of the most popular anime and manga of recent times, and one that has absolutely catapulted to anime stardom, and that is Attack on Titan. And Attack on Titan is banned in China for its heavy use of gore and overall story elements. So if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you know, or have at least heard of, maybe you've not watched it, you know the series Attack on Titan, but essentially it's all about a character, Eren, who's after his hometown is destroyed and his mother is killed. A young Eren Yeager vows to cleanse the earth of the giant humanoid titans that have brought humanity to the brink of extinction. And a lot kind of ensues. There's a lot of twists and turns. It's honestly one of the most intense anime series that I've ever watched. I'm still under the influence that I would still like to rewatch the entirety of Attack on Titan in one go, like try and marathon it. But it's so long, and I don't think I've got the commitment to, but I would love to. But fans of this one, I mean, to be fair, you might not be surprised. It's banned in China. The most massively popular anime features humans getting eaten by other big humans, and there is quite a lot of I guess that counts as cannibalism, I guess, even though they're Titan, do they technically count as human? But this is a real world, so I guess it does. So that one was a no. the China disliked how Attack on Titan was about the youth opposing authority by any means necessary, and the government also felt that the banned anime was a commentary on China's relation to Japan, apparently, possibly Hong Kong. But they believe China was represented in a negative light through the Titans. So that, to me, feels like you're looking for something that's not there. But but that's what they ruled. They kind of also said that it's much more of a horror anime than a war story. So that was one of the reasons for the ban. It feels a little bit like the splitting straws here with the kind of concept that they've got going on there with the authority and the relation to Japan. But hey ho, unfortunately, you can't watch Attack on Titan. I believe right now, you potentially maybe it's changed to like at the time of recording, maybe it's changed. But you can't watch Attack on Titan in China. So another anime that I always forget is banned in certain areas because of, well, for various reasons, is Pokemon. And Pokemon is banned in Saudi Arabia, again, for religious reasons. So Pokemon, I surely don't have to explain Pokemon. Pokemon is Pokemon. But Saudi Arabia saw the games as a form of gambling because of the cards, and which prompted then the anime to be banned. The long-running anime Pokemon anime prominently featured evolution, which went against the country's religious teachings, and the government accused Pokemon of using Shinto and Christian symbols, which they deemed to be religious offense. So there's quite a lot to say that this would be to say it's banned. There's quite a few reasons for this one, which I don't understand. It's a cultural difference, and that's what it is. So Saudi Arabia completely banned the entire anime, and this one's done for a variety of reasons because of the gambling, the religious differences, and everything, I guess. But this one is an interesting one. This one, with it primarily being a kids anime, is quite interesting. But I always forget that there's so many different cultures that would not be okay with some messages in anime. Be it a tiny character evolving into a different one, that's quite different to some beliefs. So interesting. But I believe the Pokemon anime is also banned somewhere else, but I couldn't actually find that. This was the main one that came up for Saudi Arabia, but that's very interesting. And finally, the last one on this list is like the mother of banned anime, and this one was Midori, which was banned basically almost everywhere globally. And if I'm honest, this one is probably for the better. This one it involves a little girl of the same name, Arashi's. Well, actually, it's got a few names. So it's got Shoujo Tsubaki, Mr. Arashi's Amazing Freak Show, or Midori. So it involves a girl of the same name being kidnapped into a circus, wherein she witnesses various scenes of abuse, is abused, and other horrifying things that I'm just not going to say. But that anime was so bad and so disturbing. I think it had trouble even finding funding to be produced, and the anime had its tapes burned or destroyed in other means because the audience was traumatized after watching it, because it's so graphic and so dark. So that one is like the mother of all anime that's been banned, and there's quite a few on this list that have been banned for much less. And like I love a dark anime, don't get me wrong, I love a horror anime, but that is just too much. If it's so bad that the tapes were burned and destroyed, that's a sign that is just too much. That is where you draw the line. Or maybe a bit before that, so we don't have to destroy the tapes. That's probably the line. But yeah, no one will ever see a version of that anime. And if I'm honest, I don't really think I want to. I just don't want to see that. But anyway, this has been a list of banned anime. Do you live in a country where you can't see some of those anime? Or if you do, is there a way that you can? That's also my question. Can you find sites to just kind of stream it from other sites? Or if you use a VPN, can you then watch it? I have many questions on this. But it's interesting. I think these kind of lists kind of show the wide variety of beliefs. No, I guess. What can I say? The various kind of reasons why anime can't be shown in various countries, be it for a cultural difference, a religious belief, a just downright because it's too much. There's various reasons. I think sometimes we can take it for granted. I think nowadays it's so easy to watch so much anime that we can often forget that some countries, states, regions just don't have access to them because of them being banned, which is really, really interesting. And I'm sure as more anime gets produced, we'll see this list grow. And who knows, some anime might be released off the list of banned anime, some might be added in their place. But yeah, interesting. I don't have a way to round this episode off, but other than saying thank you so much for joining me on this episode and enjoy the next week of anime viewing. Have an awesome week, guys. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Chibi and Chill the Anime Podcast. Thank you so much for every listen and download. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much from one week to another. Thank you. Please do leave a rating and a review on the podcast platform that you're listening on this to. It really does support the show. It only takes a few seconds and it's free. I cannot ask. If I ask one thing of you, I'd ask that. Please do leave a rating and a review. Even if it's not great, please let me know. It's even a bad one. Well, bad press is always what's the saying? Any press is good press, I guess. Oh, that rhymed. So a rating and review would be great. It really does support the show. So thank you so much for whatever kind of review you do leave. Sometimes finding a birthday card or an occasion card can be a boring task. However, I have some anime-themed cards on my Thortful.co.uk creator profile, which is found in my links on social media. Over on Thortful, you'll find a bunch of anime-themed cards, such as Studio Ghibli Happy Birthday cards and more, with my range being updated regularly. Each card is processed by Thortful.co.uk, with shipping being fast, quick and efficient. You can shop my anime-themed cards over on my Instagram, with my links being over on there. Search Chibi Weeb Anime and you'll find me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. It really does mean a lot. Please do leave a rating and a review down below. It really does support the show and it's free to do. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. If you're a subscriber or if you're thinking of subscribing or starting the free trial on Apple Podcasts, I'll see you on Sunday for the next episode of the Chibi Piece exclusive Apple Podcast exclusive episode on Sunday. Thanks guys. Bye bye.